Good morning. Morning, everybody. Last Sunday in January, we made it. Thank God. Good morning, everyone. I'll let you catch up with the fact that I am live and online, and we're going to pretty quickly jump right in this morning because I've got a busy day and I've got some things I have to do right when I'm done with coffee chat. So, how is everybody this morning? Good morning. How are you? What's happening? Hi, Buffy. Good morning, everybody. Tracy is with us. She is on creeper alert. So, first of all, don't respond to creepers if they start saying hello to you or asking you for a date or whatever the hell the case may be. Please don't respond to them. Know that Tracy's on here and she'll be banning and blocking as we go. So, and just a quick note, we have some of you that are, responding to these people in when they comment. And the more you respond to them and talk to them, the more they're going to talk to you. So please, if you can just refrain from saying anything to them, commenting, anything like that, let's not give these people any leverage on our page. Keep in mind, this is a public page, folks. This is not a group. This is also a public live show. A creeper alert, Wisha, is there are people that troll live videos and troll pages like ours. They're looking for dates. They're telling you how pathetic their life is and how they need a woman like you to talk to and all that kind of stuff. So we actually pay people to troll our own page for creepers and ban and block. Good morning, Jude. So we are banning and blocking, and I just ask you please not to engage with these people. Do not respond to them. If they friend request you, ban and block yourself. Just a little public service announcement because there's been a lot of this going on lately. Good morning, Angie. Okay, so we're going to start the podcast. We have a lot to get into this morning, and I have a short time to do it. So, first of all, Tracy, we've banned Tracy, the creeper cop. Okay, so first of all, let's go back to the past few weeks. If you do not watch Coffee Chat on a regular basis, I encourage you to go back and watch at least the last 3 or 4 or listen to them live on podcasts. We've been talking a lot about how your emotional state is your point of attraction, and whatever state you are vibing from, so whatever emotion you are in. So even if you are saying affirmations on the daily and you are doing the work, the actual work to push yourself in a different direction, if you are actually feeling anxiety, if you are feeling fear, if you are feeling grief, if you are feeling apathy, whatever your emotional state is inside your being is actually your attraction point, okay? So I encourage you, I don't want to get too much into this morning because I have something else to talk to you about, but I encourage you to go back and listen to either the Coffee Chat live videos or go and listen to the podcast. You can find out more about your point of attraction and how you can elevate that. One thing that I did want to cover on that is remember that when you have a desire and you put it out there to the universe, you have a particular feeling, let's call it, of joy or excitement about the desire that you want. So if you want to increase your salary, let's say, and you are doing the work, affirmation-wise, vision board-wise, gratitude list, manifestation list, if you're doing all that hardcore work on the income that you want to create for yourself, when you're doing that work and you're looking up there to the new income, you get excited. Then it's really easy to backtrack and start thinking about why you want the new income, right? So like, let's say that you're thinking you don't have enough money to pay your bills, or whatever the state of mind and feelings were that caused you to say, oh, I want to increase my income and that's my new goal. Your point of attraction follows your emotional state. So although you may have a goal up here that you want to get to, and that creates a vibe in you and a state of emotion that is inspiring and happy and vibrant, it's easy to slide back into what you were feeling in order to think that you required an increase in your income. Do you understand? So your point of attraction is going to focus around where you'll put your emotional state, where your emotional state is. So be conscious as you're creating goals for yourself and you are, moving forward into the future to the life that you want for yourself, and you're working on actively creating that. Make sure you're constantly checking your emotions, okay? Make sure you're constantly checking your emotional state. Constantly, Kelly's reminding us to think about what your why is. And she's recommending, I think I saw her, Dave Ramsey does a lot about finances and finding out what your why is and all of that, which is great in relation to finances. I am just using finances as an example. It could be that you want a new car, and it could be that you get excited about that you want a new car, and you're in that vibe, and you're like, yeah, it's going to be great, and it's going to have this, and it's going to have that. And then you're sitting in your old car, and it's making a noise, and you're looking at the upholstery, which is worn, and you're thinking about, how it acts in the snow, and that it might not be the best, and all of that, right? So now, even though you got excited and you made a goal to acquire a new car, you're backtracking your emotional state because you're sitting in the old car and you're like, okay? And then your emotional state is slowly dragged down into the space of the old car in which you're sitting, all right? Good morning, Janet. So please be conscious of this. And again, this is a quick hit on something that we have been covering for 3 or 4 weeks. So I encourage you, I see a lot of people saying it's the first time they've seen our Sunday morning live show. I encourage you, if you're interested in hearing more about how your emotional state becomes your attraction point and what that all means, I encourage you to go back and watch the last 4 or 5 episodes of the live coffee chat show, or go and listen to the podcast. We do podcast the raw audio of the show, okay? So that's just a quick hit on what we've been talking about, because as you know, the coffee chat show is progressive, so every week we're gonna loop back in kind of what we've been talking about and move forward. And I'm gonna go off track a little bit this morning because February 1st is tomorrow, and it's Valentine's Day month, and I know people that are not with somebody get in their head about Valentine's Day, and so I've made up a challenge for you for Valentine's Day to keep you in the right state of mind. So I want to talk about that. Dawn is saying, wouldn't sitting in the old car be more inspiration to get a new car? Dawn, it's not the sitting in the old car, it's like the emotion. So when you're sitting in the old car, if there are things wrong with the old car, then your emotional state starts to dwell on the things that are wrong. By the way, somebody just said that they love this group. I want to make sure that you all understand this is not a group. The Working Single Mom is a public page with over 1 million followers. So this is not a group, it's a public page. Everyone can see your post. Everyone sees what's happening here. This is a public page. It is also a public live show. Okay, so I just want to... some people think this is a group, and they say that to me a lot, and it isn't. And I don't know how many times I have to say that, but it's not a group. Because sometimes in a group, you are, you're sheltered, and your comments are sheltered, and it's not like that here. Okay, Dawn gets it. Good. I just want to be sure you guys understand. When you comment on this page, you are commenting on a public page. You are always welcome to email me privately, and that is, private between you and I. Anyway, Kelly asked, I think I just saw that flash by. She was asking how you get out of that state. Okay, so you have a goal to get a new car. You get excited about the goal of acquiring a new car. Now you're sitting in the old car. Sit in the old car with the vibe of getting the new car. Sit in the old car with the emotional state of excitement for the new car. So when the old car looks like it's failing you, for instance, instead of saying, oh my God, here we go again, it's making this noise, oh, blah, 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 say instead, oh, it's okay because pretty soon I'm going to have a new car. And I've already decided that I'm getting a new car. And that's what, and that's where I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay in that energy of getting the new car. Okay? So I would say it's like tricking yourself emotionally, and it's almost like that, right? It's like if you want a new coat, but you still have the old coat. And when you put on the old coat, you want to stay in the vibe of like, oh, I can't wait to donate this coat to someone else because my new coat is coming. I'm on the way to getting my new coat. I'm on the way to getting my new car. And I'm so grateful to be sitting in this car because I'm going to trade it in when it's time to get the new car. And then this car is going to bless somebody that doesn't even have a car. How cool is that? That's what I'm talking about, okay? Just remember, and we'll talk more about this next week, but I want to get onto this Valentine's Day thing because the 1st of February is tomorrow. So your emotional state is your attraction point. Just remember this. Keep saying this to yourself, okay? Your emotional state is your attraction point, all right? So remember that. Okay, on to Valentine's Day. So lots of times Valentine's Day month or Valentine's Day itself, to people that are unattached or just got out of a relationship or they're in between relationships or they're divorced or whatever, it causes people to, be in this whole space of, oh my God, I don't have anyone to be my Valentine and I don't have a date and I don't blah, okay? So I have an opportunity for you. My grandmother loved Valentine's Day. It was her favorite holiday in the whole world, so it has become one of my favorite holidays. My mom also loved Valentine's Day. Both my grandmother and my mom have since passed. You guys know that my mom passed this summer. And so what I have to say about Valentine's month and Valentine's Day is twofold. I want you guys to start looking at how much you're taking care of yourselves, okay? This is really important. My mom went from a super vibrant, badass, go-getter, working single mom, starting her own business, all of that, to slowly just only focused on the work at hand, never really taking care of herself and not making time to do self-care. So I grew up watching her just go balls to the wall, and I learned that myself. That was like, I just was very linear. It was like just drive. And that's pretty much how I raised the kid, who's now almost 20. So now, by the grace of God, I am able to see kind of what was missing from my mother and what I need to add and what I can help you guys to add. And then I can teach Antonio to add this as well, so that he doesn't go off the rails. So my mom ended up passing away, being very unhealthy, and we won't get into all the details of that. It could have been mitigated and solved by her taking care of herself and making small corrections all along the way over the past couple of decades. And she'd still be with us today, and she probably would have lived to be, her original plan was to live to be 99. And she passed away at 75, just before her 76th birthday. So I'm going to give you an example from my own life. This Monday, I had 11 and a half hours worth of Zoom calls. We are working on a huge project so for those of you that don't know, I actually am a businesswoman. I'm a communications consultant. I am a business consultant. I have my own firm called Fortunato Partners. I contract to a huge law firm in Miami. They're my main client. I have all kinds of clients with them and through them. And I actually work all the time, and the working single mom stuff is my give back. That's my joy. That's my passion. I carry the expense of all this myself. We don't really make money from it. Every once in a while we'll take an advertiser or I'll do an endorsement, but for the most part I'm carrying the entire working single mom project out of pocket, happily, because it's what my life is about and it's how I choose to give back. So that being said, with work, I did 11 and a half hours worth of Zoom calls on Monday. Now that was my own doing. I just kept saying, like, okay, I can get on, I'm available. At the end of the day, pretty much you can imagine the state that I was in. And then it took me like 2 days to kind of recover myself from the 11 and a half hours. I mean, we're Zoom calling right now almost like hours and hours every single day because we're working on a huge project. And I'm fine with all that. What I want to point out to you is that I'm the one that did that to myself. I scheduled the calls. I took all the calls. I said I would do it. I have a habit of doing that. I just make myself all the way available for all work stuff. I take it all on. I'll do it all. I'll take care of it. And I do take care of it. And often it's at the expense of my own well-being. And my mother did the same thing, and she taught me that. And there's a flaw there. So although I never imagined myself being someone that would be harping on self-care to you guys, here I am. Because I was the girl that was making fun of words like self-care. Because I was like, oh, please, whatever. And now I'm telling you, and I'm waving a red flag, it is really, really, really important for you to take care of yourselves. Whether it's scheduling time in the morning to just like breathe, take a cup of coffee by yourself, catch your bearings, do some prayer work or some exercise or whatever the case may be for you, you have got to book time in there for yourself. And I know a lot of you moms with like little kids, or if you have relationships or whatever, you're going to tell me you don't have time. And I'm telling you, make the time. I'm saying to you, make the time. The same way if your kid came to you and said they had a project due tomorrow and they forgot to tell you, no matter how busy you are, you would make the time to get that project taken care of for the kid, okay? So you guys, you've got to make the time to take care of yourself. You've got to make that time to take care of yourself. So I am dubbing February for the Working Single Mom crowd. I am dubbing this Self-Care Month, all right? And I want to know what you guys are going to do to take care of yourselves. So that being said, the first 5 people to email me today or tomorrow, whenever you're seeing this, give me 5 things that you're going to do this month to take care of yourself, okay? The first 5 people to email me that, I will send you a prize. We have new t-shirts. We have new mouse pads. We have a bunch of swag that I ordered to give away. And for those of you that emailed me last week, the t-shirts just came in on Monday, so we'll be mailing prizes out from last week and prizes out from this week, probably tomorrow. So those are forthcoming. Taking care of yourself is really important. Here's the thing. If you don't take care of yourself and you go down, who the hell is going to do all the other stuff that you're doing? Who's going to hold it? Who's going to make it happen if you're down? Okay? And I know you're going to say, because you'll say what I say, I don't have time for that. I'm too busy. I have to do this. I have to do that. I don't have time to go there and get a massage. I don't have time to just sit, and do yoga for 20 minutes. I don't have time. You don't not have time, because I'm telling you right now, my mother's life was shortened by about 20 years because she did not put this piece in and take care of herself. The things that caused her death could have been mitigated if she had paid attention and been willing to do the work to correct old habits, okay? And honestly, I've been thinking about her a lot the last few days, and I feel like she really wants me to see what she missed and make the correction for myself and share that with you. She was the original inspiration by creating the Working Single Mom. So, she was a working single mom. She raised me her whole life like that. I raised Antonio. I'm married now. I got married in 2019. But I raised Antonio his whole life by myself. And with no financial help from anybody and nothing. So Amy saying self-care is truly why she believes her mother died as well. I can guarantee you probably that there are a lot of our parents or our elders that passed away before their time because they didn't take care of themselves, because the old way of doing things was very linear. The old school way of doing was like do. It doesn't matter how you feel. Get up, go to work. And I'm not saying become a pansy ass, okay? I'm not saying lose your warrior sharpness. I'm not saying that as well. I'm saying that there's a way to be a badass warrior and still take care of yourself. And I would much rather schedule in the discipline of taking care of yourself than to have something come upon me that forces me to be unable to do what I want to do. Okay? And Vanessa's saying balance, and here's what I think. I don't think it's not so much a balance as it is a flow. Okay? Because a balance indicates that you have to have as much of this as you do of that. And for some of us, we can't have as much like self-care time as we do work time or whatever. Like it just doesn't work like that. So look at it like a flow. Look at it like it's cyclical. Look at it like everything is a cycle, right? And there's a flow. There's a flow to taking care of yourself. There's a flow to working your ass off. And sometimes you might be able to schedule more time for yourself, and sometimes it will be less, and sometimes there'll be more times, that you need to focus on work. Okay? So it's okay to have a pajama day for no reason. You don't have to have a sick day to schedule yourself to just have a day to stay in your pajamas and lay on your ass. We get sick and we hit the wall because we don't schedule in the self-care. We don't make it a part of our existence. And so then we hit the wall and then we're down. And then it's like, wouldn't you rather lay on the sofa and stay in your pajamas all day because you chose it than to be sick as shit and have to lay on the sofa all day and not even be able to like enjoy the movies that you're watching or whatever because you're blowing your nose and coughing and you have a fever and you feel like shit? Wouldn't it be much better to just schedule this time in for yourself when you can and when the flow permits, that you are just taking care of yourself? I went to the hairdresser yesterday and I was telling her about the Zoom calls on Monday. She's also a friend. And she was like, you need to schedule in time every day. She's like, who controls your schedule? And I said, I do. And she's like, well, why wouldn't you schedule in a couple of 30-minute blocks or give yourself 15 minutes of space in between each call, to go pee and get a coffee and get a drink of water or just stand up for a minute? And I thought, oh, why wouldn't I do that? Well, that's an interesting concept. Why not? Why wouldn't I do that? It's as foreign to me as it probably is to you. It's just really poignant for me because the pictures that I have of my mother around my home are from when she was young and when she was, younger than me and also my age, and she was vibrant and she was a badass. And then as we got, the last, I would say 10 years for sure, she lost a lot. And that is really because she wasn't taking care of herself. And I used to say to her, like, Mom, have you had any water today? Are you exercising? Are you getting out? Are you walking? Are you doing anything? And she would just be like, I don't have time for that. I'll think about that later. I'll deal with it later. And Tracy knows my mom. Tracy, she's on here. She's our creeper police. And she studied with my mom, and she's known my mom for, I think, almost, Tracy and I have known each other for over 2 decades, probably close to 3 decades now. And she knew my mother very well, so she knows poignantly what I'm talking about. And I see that a lot of you are saying that you're, parents and such, you believe that this was part of their issue as well. And Janet is saying you can't pour from an empty cup, which is the truth. And I'm telling you, up until my mother passed away and I really had to take a look at, like, how did my mother, who is a huge prosperity practitioner and a spiritual warrior and a badass mofo, how did she die 20 years before she planned? And I really have had to take a look at that because I feel like she wants me to see where her misstep was so that I don't make the same misstep. And I really feel like she wants me to share that with you as I'm walking through this process so you guys don't make the same misstep. And so, my son wasn't feeling well this week, and I said to him, like, it's okay. He's come to work for my company full time now, by his request, by the way. So he's managing a couple of media properties And he and Tracy are actually going to we're looking into opening a working single mom swag store on Etsy where we may make available, some of the stuff that I'm having made to give away and some autographed book packages and things like that. So I'm toying with that idea. Anyway, Antonio is, a couple of my mom's students are also watching here this morning. I'm seeing them comment, Dolly and Kirsten, and of course Tracy, as I mentioned. And so Antonio wasn't feeling well this week, and in the course of that, we were texting back and forth, and I said, it's okay, just like, it's important where you're vibing, right? So if you're trying to force yourself, your vibrational attraction point isn't going to be in a good place, so just rest, like, don't worry about it. And he's like, who are you, and what have you done with my mother? And he's like, Mom, this is weird. He's like, this isn't you. What's wrong with you? And I said to him, what's wrong with me is I don't want to turn out like your grandmother in that way. What's wrong with me is I don't want to leave this planet before I feel like I'm done with my work. And in my opinion, I won't be done till I'm 100 and something, okay? So I have a long way to go. I have a lot of things I want to share with you guys and a lot of work that I want to do. So I cannot stress to you enough, and I'm learning and living this as I'm sharing it with you. I cannot stress to you enough how important taking care of yourself is. Okay, so we are dubbing February the month of self-care. I am also going to say to you, for the Valentine's Day thing, pick 5 people in your life and make it your business to have them have a fabulous Valentine's Day. I don't care whether you bring them a cup of coffee, whether you write them a note about how much they mean to you, whether you go clean their house, whether you watch their kid. You don't have to spend money. This isn't about spending money. This is about, if you are feeling sad because you don't have a Valentine, I want you to go make it your business to pick 5 people in your life and make it your business to have them have the most extraordinary Valentine's Day that they can have. And we're going to harp on this next week too. Okay, so pick 5 people in your life that you can make a crazy, mad contribution to and make sure that they have an amazing Valentine's Day. And it could be your kids, right? A couple of those 5 could be your kids. So stop being self-concerned and start looking out past your little blinders and let's look out there and see who needs our help. Okay? Who needs our help? Who is sad and depressed and feeling shitty, or who's having a super hard time with the pandemic, or having to do their kids' school stuff at home, or they lost their job and they don't have money right now, whatever. Find 5 people. I guarantee you in your life there are 5 people that are suffering right now, and you can make it your business to make sure they have a fabulous freaking Valentine's Day. Okay? That's your job should you choose to accept it. It's also your job to take care of yourself this month. I want you to at least schedule in at least 2 things this week that are all about you, all right? At least 2 things where, whether it's you go sit in your car for 20 minutes and turn on your favorite music and rock it out, and you don't even have to leave your driveway if you've got kids in the house or whatever. You need to schedule 2 things at least that are going to take care of you this week. And the first 5 people to email me 5 things that you're going to do to take care of yourself this month, I'm going to send you a prize. Okay, I've got to jump because I've got a lot to do today. So we're going to say goodbye to our podcast people. So I will say this though before I go. I am going to, I'm going to join you in this challenge for taking care of myself this month. I have been doing yoga every morning. I have sadly, though, not gotten into the gym to do any kind of cardio. So in addition to continuing with the yoga every morning, I'm going to schedule 3 cardio sessions in the gym. So that's my promise to you guys. That's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to clean my desk because it's a disaster. All right. So have a great week, you guys. We're going to say goodbye to our podcast, folks. And I'll say goodbye to my Facebook fam. You have your assignments should you choose to accept them. I will see you next week.